Hey, what's up, fellow model train enthusiasts? This is Lone Wolf 777 broadcasting from his home in California today. As you can see here, I have a lot to update you on. You can see the pictures going through kind of fast. As you can see, there's a lot of the HO scale locomotive models that I've had, such as the SD75M, which you saw just now. Now I have an F45 for once, and an FP45 like this one that I'm pretty much prototyping in these pictures right here as they were shown. These are the particular models right here, 1936 and 5942. They've been receiving a lot of upgrades from myself. As you can see with LEDs, warm white is the color for this particular LED that I used for this locomotive and the 1936, which is the F45. The decoder, which is right here shown in this photograph, is the one I'm hoping to get a couple of, maybe a few. And as you can see, those will control the lights on all the locomotives that are being installed with this. So as you can see here, there's been something that's been brewing in my mind for a little while, and that's making resin casted parts because these models are not made anymore. So I have to think about start making molds for these models, for the shell, the locomotive, the parts, you name it. I have to think about making those and making sure that I have tons of spares in stock, ready to go, because sometimes it's better to just make sure you have a lot of spares. And this is the way the trucks looked, black, and the cab is still the same color. I don't know why I took a couple photographs of that, but I decided why not, hey, just do it that way. So as you can see here, the trucks are now painted silver, aluminum silver by Taima Paint. That's been shipped here in the United States or made here in the United States. I don't remember which. I'll have to look that company up again and make sure whether or not it was made in the United States or not. These are the old incandescent rice bulb lights that burn out pretty quickly. As you can see here, I had to paint the emergency fuel cutoff switch from black to red to make sure that it meets FRA requirements. The switch is on both sides. Now, as you can see, that's the before, and this is the after pictures. As you can see, it's red now. I had to take some tape, cut it into a piece or sections, and tape it up and get it to where it looks like that. The fuel cap is red, that's right. The fuel indicator gauge, which is right below that, needs to be painted red because they're not black, they need to be red. So as you can see now in this photograph, the fuel indicator gauge and the fuel emergency cutoff switch or button is red. The trucks are silver, those are reinstalled now. So there's plenty of more stuff that I've done to this locomotive right here, the FP45 in particular, because it's going to take me the longest to install all kinds of stuff that I need to. So the other thing is installing sound speakers in the locomotive. There's two molded casted parts, or in the frame, if you will. So I have to buy the speakers and the parts for the speaker enclosure, make the speakers, put the speakers inside the locomotive, both locomotives actually, because they're going to be both sound, the 5942 and 1936. The 5942 is an FP45 that I have been modifying to look like it did back in the day in the 1970s. I think maybe 1960s or 1970s, somewhere around that era. Because I really want to make sure that my models look prototypical historically wise. Now, layout wise, I'm not doing that. That's just too much for me. As you can see here, this is the SD75M. It's now fully lit. The LEDs are all installed now from front to back and under the trucks. I gotta say, that was my first time doing this, and I'm pretty proud of myself for doing that because I was having some really some second thoughts on whether or not I should do the truck lights. I know there's a lot of people actually doing the stepwell lights and the courtesy walk lights. I don't do that. That's just too much more work for me, and I'm not going to bother with that because then that just takes up way too much real estate inside the locomotive shell to be able to really put anything else in there like speakers and stuff. So that's where I'm at on this locomotive. I'm going to stop with just the truck lights and the ditch lights, front lights for the headlight, and the rear lights for those lights. So that's pretty much it. And as you can see here, a lot of it's still, well, now you can see the cab lit up. That took a little while. I don't know if I'm going to light up the number board, which no, I'm not going to. No, I'm not going to do that because it's just way too much more work. And you can see the cab starting to get destroyed by my work on this locomotive. So paint-wise, I have to get some yellow paint the grab irons back to yellow. The ditch lights work. The truck lights work, as you can see here, the one on the left. I also installed an engineer. And there's the truck light. I think that's the right one or left one. Either way, I'm still working a lot on these as much as possible since we're pretty much stuck in my house, or since I'm stuck in my house doing what I got to do. And as you can see, they're bright white LEDs. Here's the red LED Mars light lit up, if you can see that. Here's the rear lights, the warm white LEDs, excuse me. As you can see here, I had to use some Plastruck, clear Plastruck, and make it into headlight lenses so that you can see the lights shine through better. And you don't see inside of the locomotive shell. So as you can see here, this is the F45 as it's going along its process of being upgraded to LEDs and stuff. And now for this part, you can see that I have the beacon light ready to go. I had to do some modification works to the LED, beacon light. That takes a little while, ladies and gentlemen. I know that everybody wants me to get it done as fast as I can. I get that, but it just takes so much time and effort to do this. So yeah, it's just one of those things that it does take for a little while. Please just bear with me on this. I know it's something that, you know, a lot of us really want to see done and over with. Believe me, it just takes so much time and effort. You got to be patient. Now that you can see the beacon lights mount is now shorter, and it pretty much matches the height that I was going for. The LED now lights up inside of the beacon light. The beacon light lens and mount are glued into the locomotive cab now. I had to make sure that the cab did not get light bleeding through the from the beacon light, so I had to get some tin foil, and basically I had to glue that to where the wires go through the milled out channel for the beacon light. So now you don't see the beacon light's LED basically bleeding through to the cab. I didn't want that. Nobody wants that. So there you go. Now you can see that it's all operational. It works. I've seen people try to do the rotating beacon light simulation with the 4 LEDs inside of this thing, but I'm not going to do that. That's just too much of a headache. All right, that's pretty much it. Lone Wolf 777 signing off. See you down the rails. Peace out. Got any questions? Throw them down in the comment section. I'll get back to them as soon as I can. Peace out.